Hey everyone, this is Michael from Bright Musical Circuits. This is BMC107. This is dual comparators with logic outputs. So as the title suggests, two channels of comparator, each with an input, output, threshold control, and control voltage that modulates the threshold. If you're not familiar with a comparator, it is a simple gate on-off output that compares two voltages, whether the input is higher or lower than the threshold. So right now our inputs are grounded, so if I move our threshold from very high to low, we'll see a change in our outputs here, as now we have a negative threshold, which our 0 volts is higher than. But these also have these four outputs here, both 1 only, 2 only, and none. So with this, you can combine the outputs of the two thresholds. With this, you can combine the outputs of the two comparators and get some interesting things. So I'm going to show you just making a little beat with that. Then I'm going to show you how to make repeating gated loops with that, and then I'm going to show you how to do soft synchronization of VCOs with that. So yeah, enjoy. To start off, I'm going to just set up some noise sources. This is going to go to the 2 only output, and this is going to go to the 1 only output. And then I'm going to set these LFOs as our inputs. These are the triangle outputs of 2 LFOs, and I'm going to set our thresholds down until we start hearing some differences. Oh, and I have that into the CV input, not the output. And so I'm going to change the rates of these LFOs. So you get this weird kind of shifty beat doing it this way. And then I'm going to add some control voltage from one of these other LFOs to modulate this some more. So next I'm going to show how to set up some envelope loops with this. So this is our second patch I wanted to show you. So we're setting it up so that this envelope generator is going to loop while our gate is high. We're using the manual voltages to create our gate and a CV control to a VCO that's off screen. The output of that is going to input 2. Input 1 is from the output of our AR generator going through this mult, which is also going to be going to our VCO that's off screen. And the input of our AR generator is going to number 2 only. So gate input 2, when that's above the threshold, that's going to have number 2 go on, spark this up, and then that output is going to change until this gets down to a low enough control voltage. So it should sound a little like this. And I was adjusting the release on the AR generator for that, but you could also easily use the threshold here. Though if you go too low, it's going to be a voltage that takes a really long time for it to hit. And as you go higher, it's also going to be setting it so the envelope doesn't go as low before it re-triggers, which is also going to make it so it's a little bit harder. So it's going to make it so there's less of a envelope dragging down effect. But we can also use a control voltage input here. Let's make that a little subtle. But yeah, so that's another thing you can do with this module. Next, let me show you how to set up synchronizing with oscillators. Okay, so for this patch, we have two VCOs down here. We're using the sine wave outputs of both of them. The sync input of the first one only. So our sync input for this VCO is coming from the both output of our dual threshold with logic outputs module. The inputs are going to be the outputs of the two VCOs. And so basically what we're doing is we're going to create a small spike in voltage whenever both of the VCOs are high at the same point of height, and then send that back to sync the first one. So with this, we're creating a soft sync where they're only going to be syncing up when they're close enough in sync to each other to start with. And I'll plug this in so you can start to hear it. So you can hear as I'm changing the threshold for what voltage on is for VCO1, our tone changes. And as if I go too high on the threshold for one of these, the effect is just eliminated because something's not triggering. And too low, it's going to be more like a hard sync. And I'm going to put a little bit of CV control over that. And so here we have like a voltage controlled soft sync. And I'm going to spread the frequencies between the two VCOs a little further apart to maybe get a more noticeable sound. And we're using sine waves for both of these inputs. So this is also something that would help you get this if you had an No, that would never happen. Never mind. So yeah, thank you for watching. There's a lot of other things you could probably do with this module I haven't thought of. And also if you just needed a couple comparators in your system, this would be a nice way to start, but also have a couple little bonus features for it. So yeah, thank you.